A farm bill, generous subsidies intact, passed the House last week, and it's got plenty of critics, both for the subsidies and a prospective new tax. Republican Congressman Jeff Flake of Arizona is among those critics. He joins us from Capitol Hill. Good to see you, Congressman. And just to sort of set the scene for our viewers, you grew up on a farm. I mean, you know what it's like to deal with these types of actions, good and bad, financially.
I did, in Snowflake, Arizona. So I do have a farm background, but it's simply out of control. It's an old program that seems to get worse every time we reauthorize it.
And does your family still own and work on this farm?
Yes, family and extended family. But I should point out, we're not among those that receive subsidies unless you're farming a good amount of corn or cotton or soybeans or rice or wheat. You're not receiving much of a subsidy. It's those commodities, those favored commodities, where the bulk of the money goes.
And why is that? Why are the rich getting richer when there are so many farmers that are struggling that could use that money so much more? I mean, Scottie Pippen, David Letterman, Ted Turner, and a number of these other people mentioned, they don't need the money.
No, you're exactly right, and that's the biggest misnomer of all, as this is kind of cast as helping the family farmer when the overwhelming amount of the subsidies go to wealthy farmers. In fact, the Farm Bill sought to get control of that by limiting these subsidies, the direct payments, to those who are receiving who are making $1 million in adjusted gross income. Now, having grown up on a farm, you could write quite a bit off, but when you and your spouse can both claim $1 million in adjusted gross income and still receive subsidies, then there's something wrong.
So how is this hurting the farmers that are just getting by, and how could a change help those farmers that are just getting by?
Well, I can tell you how it really hurts is we're really putting our farmers at risk because we're exposing them to suits from our international trade partners. The other big problem with the Farm Bill, it's not just a colossal waste of taxpayer dollars, but it's going to make it very difficult for us to continue with our international trade obligations to find new markets. And if we can't find new markets for our agricultural produce, we're sunk. And so this is really bad on so many fronts.
So is there any way that a change could be made? What's your alternative idea? What could happen next to change this in any way?
Well, in order to get it past the House, they had to add a lot more money, both in terms of increased subsidies. For as bad as the sugar program, for example, is, we made it worse with this bill. But in order to do that, and also to give more to conservation groups and nutrition groups in order to get the bill passed, they had to pass a tax increase. And so that likely isn't going anywhere in the Senate, and certainly the President will veto it. So we're likely to be right back at square one, and hopefully we can actually reform the bill and reform these subsidies as we go forward. So it's not done yet.
We're going to follow it too. Congressman Jeff Flake, thanks for your time.
Thank you.